7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Your news and weather at 11 p.m. starts right now.
Your local news and weather now. Fox 54 News now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Courtney Hicks. Mark Blaine has an early start to the weekend. Let's start with Senate hopeful Herschel Walker, who made a campaign stop in Evans today. The former football star from Georgia is now trying his hand in politics as he works to unseat current Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock. Fox 54's Jared Eggleston spoke with him exclusively following the visit.
And Courtney, good evening. Walker visited the Columbia County GOP headquarters this morning as he campaigns for votes across the state with endorsements from Republican leaders like former President Donald Trump and current Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. After his speech to supporters, Walker spoke exclusively with Fox 54 about his campaign, which he says right now is focused on listening to the citizens.
We're trying to do listening sessions all throughout the state because I think that's very important. I want to hear what the people got to say. I think one thing that's important is running for office. You want to see what's going on in this state.
And he says major concerns he's heard include recent crime waves, both locally and statewide, and the economy with recent spikes in prices at the pump and at the grocery store. I also reached out to Senator Warnock about his campaign against Herschel Walker. His team hasn't gotten back with me quite yet. Walker is running against about 5 other Republicans in a primary that is slated for May. Another name on that ballot is former Georgia Insurance Commissioner Gary Black. You can hear more of my exclusive one-on-one conversation with Herschel Walker over on WFXG.com. For now, in the studio, I'm Jared Eggleston, Fox 54 News Now.
Thank you, Jared, for that. And new tonight, a Richmond County Sheriff's deputy was arrested earlier this morning. Deputy Jakari Weston, seen here on your screen, was involved in a single-car crash on the 1300 block of Mark Church Road just before 3 this morning. Weston was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol and an improper turn while in his county-issued car. He was on his way home from a special duty assignment and has been employed with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office since last December. And developing tonight, one person is dead after a crash in Jefferson County. It happened on Highway 17 north of Rennes. The highway had to be shut down from Quaker Road to Warrington Highway. Details are limited at this time. Be sure to download our Fox 54 News Now app to get the latest updates on this story. And Jenkins County schools will reopen Tuesday, November 16th, after they have received numerous threats sent by email. Jenkins County Superintendent Tara Cooper says faculty and staff will return Monday and students on Tuesday. On Monday, faculty and staff will have safety training and planning. The school system says metal detectors will be at all entrances and no book bags will be allowed. A law enforcement team will do a sweep of the building and grounds each morning before school and will hang out outside of the building during the day. Cooper says, thank you for your support of our school system. We have multiple agencies working together that will identify who sent the emails. Let's take a look at how many COVID-19 cases our local schools are reporting. The Aiken County school system currently has 28 COVID-19 positive students, up from 10 just a week ago. Richmond County has 8 student cases, a drop from 18 a week ago. These numbers are updated at each end of each school week. And if you are looking to get your vaccine, a local church is offering vaccines tomorrow. Beulah Grove Baptist Church is getting ready to host its Shoot Your Shot vaccine drive, where children will get the chance to get vaccinated. The event is tomorrow from 12 noon until 4 p.m. at the church. There will be music, free food, giveaways, and more.
We have a great opportunity for the community. We're excited about sharing the event and to have this experience for the community to get vaccinated so that others can be well and we can continue to move Augusta forward together.
The event will be on the grounds of the church located at 1434 Poplar Street in Augusta. The city of Augusta is holding a vaccine clinic next Saturday, that's the 20th, at the Augusta Mall. And remember, any Richmond County resident who receives their first or second dose qualifies for $100 gift card under the city's vaccine incentive program.
Good evening. Here we are. The weekend is here. The temperatures are here and look like they're going to kind of plunge down into the 30s and bundle up there, especially for Saturday night into Sunday night. We are 50 degrees in Washington, 50 in McCormick, 44 degrees in Fort Gordon, and 46 degrees around the Louisville area. Hey, thanks to Melinda Ball. She was on the river today, of course, picking up some of this fall foliage there, Savannah River. And of course, this has got to be the weather picture of the day or the weather video of the day. Just delightful, nice conditions across the metro area there for you. In the meantime, this is not going to last, and I'm talking about temperature-wise, because we will continue to have just really sunny skies across the area. Modoc up by the lakes into Washington and Wagner, Barnwell, Bamberg, and Allendale, still looking pretty much dry. But now we're going to have to deal with the colder temperatures. Everything you see highlighted in the blue there, that's that freeze watch in effect until about 9 a.m. for Sunday morning. And just a little bit closer, further to the north and west, it's going to be a little bit heavier and much colder across the region itself. So there you are with our forecast for the most part. We'll have more coming up in just a couple minutes. Let's get back to our news now. Here's Courtney.
All right, thank you, Jay. The trial continues for 3 white men in Georgia charged with the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Arbery was out for a jog in February of 2020 when he was confronted by Gregory McMichael, his adult son Travis, and William Roddy Bryan. Defense attorneys say the 3 men were trying to make a citizen's arrest. Court opened Friday with Bryan's defense attorney addressing his objection to civil rights leader Reverend Al Sharpton attending the trial to support the victim's family.
If my statements yesterday were overly broad, I will follow up with a more specific motion on Monday, putting that and those concerns in the proper context. And my apologies to anyone who might have inadvertently been offended.
On Thursday, Attorney Koff said that having high-profile members of the African-American community sit in court was an attempt to intimidate and pressure the jury. The judge said he was not going to exclude members of the public from his courtroom. And the black community is rallying support for Ahmaud Arbery's family after Bryan's attorney made the apology in court today. Attorney Ben Crump tweeted a statement saying, quote, "It is not illegal for black pastors to support the parents of Ahmaud Arbery or any other black victims. We are going to bring 100 black pastors to pray with the family next week," end quote. Sharpton is now calling on clergy leaders from all faiths to join him at the Brunswick, Georgia courthouse next Thursday. That's the 18th. And we now take a live look at the White House, where President Biden met with his cabinet members today to explain how the latest passed legislation will help their agencies. But as he pushes forward with another spending bill, Republicans are pushing back. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more.
The bill represents critical investments that are long overdue in our country.
President Biden sitting down with his cabinet ahead of Monday's signing of the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Because if we do it right, we know what it will mean. We know what it will mean. It'll create millions of new jobs. It will grow the economy.
Plus, announcing he will nominate former Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Robert Califf, to again lead the agency. But Senator Joe Manchin, whose state has been hard hit by the opioid epidemic, says he opposes the nomination because of Califf's ties to the pharmaceutical industry.
Every senator can vote for or against members or people who are nominated. That's their role, but we feel he's a qualified person.
Manchin remains an issue for the president in moving his larger social spending Build Back Better bill forward. Moderates want to know exactly what the bill will cost. The Congressional Budget Office is scoring it, but it takes time. The White House says Thanksgiving is Congress's deadline.
We're pretty far along on the Build Back Better Act. We have the votes for it.
Government dependency programs, once they're turned on, are very, very difficult to turn off. So if they just reduce the number of years by which they score it, that's just a budget gimmick.
The president will head to New Hampshire and Michigan next week to continue his sales pitch for the infrastructure bill. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
A new $17 million investment by Governor McMaster aims to address the South Carolina labor shortage. The program is called Workforce Scholarships for the Future. The money pays for tuition and fees at any South Carolina technical college and will be funded through the governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund. Aiken Technical College is among the dozen included. The school says enrollment was down during the pandemic, but they are on track for this spring, and the program will make the numbers even stronger.
We are very pleased to have this opportunity because our goal is to provide access and affordability for students in our service area. And so this is another commitment from South Carolina to help us improve educational attainment in the state.
Now, the scholarship will be used for several other programs, including nursing, criminal justice, and welding. The program begins in January. Enrollment is already open for the upcoming spring semester at Aiken Tech.
Well, we're going to have more news coming up in a moment. Look at the traffic on Interstate 20 and check out the temperatures. 44 degrees at Augusta Regional, 58 at Daniel Field, and Aiken Regional of 45.
Welcome back. The weekend will be a bit chilly, in particular those overnight hours. And with those chilly temperatures approaching, fire officials say it's more important to keep safety top of mind to prevent house fires. Fox 54's Hannah Cotter joins us with fire safety tips. Good evening, Hannah.
Fire officials say they want to make sure people do their best to keep themselves and their families safe, as well as firefighters.
And we really want people to take that first step in making sure that their environment, their home, is as safe as possible.
Jason DeHart with the Augusta Fire Department says October through February are peak months for heated-related fires. Last year, firefighters responded to an average of 25 calls during those months. And so far this year, they've responded to an average of 24. It's all as people try to heat up their homes.
Space heaters, if it has an automatic shutoff, great. Also plug it into the wall directly, not so much a power cord or extension cord. Kerosene heaters are fine, but again, if you run out, you got to fill it up outside. And oven should be a no-no, period.
Officials say you should keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away from space heaters, fireplaces, stoves, and candles. This includes things like pets and blankets.
With space heaters, the name implies that they need space. You want to have one that's UL approved, and it's got some type of safety device, so if it gets knocked over, it automatically shuts off.
Columbia County Fire Operations Chief Danny Coleman says it's also a good idea to get your fireplace checked and cleaned every year, and you should make sure your HVAC systems are working properly. But one of the most important things...
Smoke detectors, we can't stress them enough. That's the cheapest insurance policy you can have.
DeHart says cooking-related fires are also increased this time of year.
Thanksgiving is actually ground zero when it comes to cooking fires, just because of everything that's going on.
Augusta Fire Chief Antonio Burden says older adults are most at risk from home fires, so they should have an escape plan in case of an emergency and get their home heating system inspected or professionally cleaned every year. In the studio, I'm Hannah Cotter, Fox 54 News Now.
Well, the central portion of the United States is looking good. The upper four corner states there is not really a problem. Pacific Northwest had some light showers, but the area there, and that's that low pressure system, you can see it spinning counterclockwise. That's snow flurries, icy conditions, and of course rain chances there for you increasing getting into the nation's capital. But to the south we go, and we're going to be under portions of our viewing area into a freeze watch that goes until about Sunday. Just for that western portion of the area. That's going to carry into Macon, Atlanta, and moving into Alabama and portions of Mississippi. So here we go. You could see it. This goes until 9 a.m. for tomorrow morning. Maybe pushing a little bit more further to the north is a possibility. But in the meantime, we'll continue to update you. No rain for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday's looking good. A little bit on the cool side and colder temperature, especially at night. We'll have that breakdown coming up in a moment. Last look at the fair forecast for tonight if you plan on attending tomorrow as we bust all the balloons. 10 a.m. of 60 degrees, sunny skies, 3 p.m. 67, and then 7 p.m. that temperature a nice fair temperature of 51 degrees. 66 now in Evans, 64 in Saluda, 69 in Barnwell, 70 degrees, and this is going to be afternoon temperatures for tomorrow, and that's going to be out of Allendale and Bamberg, and 66 around the Louisville area. Right now, we're still holding in the upper 40s to the low 50s across Georgia and South Carolina. So we are sandwiched in between two systems, a cold front to the north, also to the west and east of us. So that gives us basically clear skies for tonight. So any warm air we have will be evaporated into the upper atmosphere. By 3 a.m. in the morning, our temperature is still ranging in the 40s. We get into about 7, 8 a.m. The front should be just to the east of us. That's going to reinsure some colder temperatures headed our way for Saturday night, Sunday night, also into Monday night. This is about 1 p.m. for tomorrow afternoon, so we look for plenty of sunshine. It won't be quite as breezy. The winds would be out of the west there at about 3 to 6 miles an hour. So light southwest wind for tonight at 43. Remember that freeze watch in effect for tomorrow, and then getting all the way until about 9 a.m. on Sunday. Tomorrow is going to be really nice, sunny and pleasant of 68. This is typically only about 2 degrees below average, normally which should be about 70. The 3-day forecast with continuation of sunny skies, 65 on Sunday and Monday. Tuesday of 72. Notice our overnight temperatures get out of those 30s into the 40s. By the middle of next week, Wednesday of 75, 76 on Thursday, and then we drop back because of another cold front. By Friday, partly cloudy skies and temperature of 64. Courtney?
All right, thank you so much, Jay. The conservatorship that has controlled a pretty big part of the life of pop star Britney Spears has now ended. Fox News correspondent Jeff Paul is in LA with the latest.
Britney Spears reacting tonight to the news, tweeting out, "Good God, I love my fans so much. It's crazy. Best day ever." And that's in part because Britney Spears will wake up on Saturday for the first time in more than a decade, free to make decisions both financially and with her personal life. Now, this all sort of came about back in 2019 when Britney Spears chose to take a hiatus from work. It was then when her fans began to question what was happening with her life. They soon began to highlight the strict order she was living under, which then led to a widely watched documentary causing public outrage. That pressure pushed several key court hearings into the public light, where Britney Spears publicly said on the record that the conservatorship was, quote, abusive and wanted to be free. Her newly picked attorney began to vouch for her wishes. Her father then filed a petition to be removed, all of that leading to the moment where Spears finds herself free from those restrictions.
What's next for Britney, and this is the first time that this could be said for about a decade, is up to one person, Britney. Britney, as of today, is a free woman, and she's an independent woman, and the rest, with her support system, will be up to Britney.
While she transitions back to life without a conservatorship, a CPA will stay on board as sort of a safety net to guide her. Meanwhile, this is by no means the last day in court. Her attorney is vowing to have Jamie Spears, her father, investigated over conservatorship abuse. In Los Angeles, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
All right, nothing but the best for Britney. A doorbell camera captures a front lawn miracle, and a 105-year-old runner sprints her way into the record books. That's all coming up in tonight's Take a Look at This. A couple forced to change their birth plans at the last minute end up welcoming a new baby boy right in front of their house. And the whole thing was caught on camera. Jeremy Roth has that and more in tonight's Take a Look at This.
Like most expectant couples, these California parents had a birth plan. But when the time came, that plan went right out the door and into the front yard. Once her contractions started, Emily Johnson and her husband Michael were preparing to leave for the hospital, but things progressed more quickly than expected.
The contractions went to 5 minutes and 3 minutes and 2 minutes and 1 minute. And we're like, oh, we got to get in the car.
But the front lawn was as far as they would get.
I stood at the car, and just said, no, I'm just gonna get on the grass and I'm gonna be here. This is gonna be my spot.
And so, with the help of her mother, who just arrived,
I mean, I'm on my hands and knees, and little head comes out.
Emily gave new meaning to home delivery, giving birth to their son, Thomas. And because their doorbell camera captured the entire thing, Emily and Michael can relive the surreal experience again and again.
Yep. That hurt.
Speaking of amazing feats of strength, check out the amazing strength in the feet of this 105-year-old sprinter. Her name is Julia Hawkins, and she's known as the Hurricane. And according to the National Senior Games Association, Hurricane Hawkins' recent zippy 100-meter dash at a Louisiana event made her the first 105-year-old female to set a track and field world record and the first to establish an age 105 and older runner category.
Wonderful. I'm so happy.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Oh.
105?
I'm in awe, and then I feel like real shame because that, man, listen.
Yeah, well,
that was amazing.
She's living a good life.
Yes.
Imagine the stuff that she's seen in a lifetime.
Okay, I'm super motivated now.
Okay, go for it.
I
Just
will.
run around the desk right here while I do the weather.
Okay, go.
No, you go. You start now.
You go first.
Okay, here's the forecast. You're not moving here. All right, 48 degrees there in Washington, 52 in Evans, 44 in Augusta, 46 there in Louisville. Don't forget about the freeze watch in effect for this weekend, expiring by 9 a.m. on Sunday, 68 tomorrow, 65 on Sunday. Beautiful weekend. Overnight temperatures will be in those 30s, but next week we'll see the 70s. Tuesday of 72 and 76 at Thursday. You did a great job. You're not even out of breath.
It was a mental jog around the around the desk. And I'm going to jog right to my house.
Okay.
Right in bed.
Here she goes. All right. It's the weekend, everyone.
Have a good one. Be safe. Stay warm, especially overnight. We'll
Exercise and run.